Ask the Messenger's TV show is a TV show that educates, informs, and entertains our viewers on public health issues such as mental illness, suicide, addiction, illness and disease, COVID-19 relief, crime, domestic violence, homelessness, human trafficking, employment opportunities, healthcare, and more. And now, Ask the Messengers.
The DWIHN Integrated Health Network provides services and support to 75,000 people in Wayne County. DWIHN serves people with mental illness, intellectual and developmental disabilities, individuals with substance use disorders, and children with serious emotional disturbances. DWIHN is the largest and most diverse community mental health agency in the state of Michigan, and it is committed to providing the highest quality of integrated health care to those it serves while working alongside with dedicated and compassionate provider network. Today on Ask the Messengers, we bring you another DWIHN Partnership Series featuring veterans resources. Our guest today is Veteran Navigator Chris Brown, who talks about helping veterans with whatever their needs are, plus other veteran resources, and a few words from a 101-year-old Army veteran. Alrighty, this is Tina Nelson for Ask the Messengers, and today we are bringing you another one of our DWIHN Partnership Series, but we're dealing with veterans and veterans resources. During the month of November is the big hype for Veterans Day. A lot of stuff, a lot more is known and said and spoken about, but veterans need help every day. And that is what Chris Brown is here to talk about, some of the things that he does through Wayne County to navigate resources for the veterans that come to his office, come through his office. And he's just going to give us some insight on what he does, what resources are available, and how you veterans, if you need help, he is there to help you. So Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you are a veteran, so I will salute you, but I'm not a veteran, so I don't know if I can salute you or not. Is it still?
Well, I'm a non-commissioned officer, so you wouldn't salute me.
Oh, there you go. Okay. See, I don't understand all that stuff.
Yes.
But, so what department did you serve in, and when were you in the military service?
I served in the Army.
Okay.
From 85 to 89, and I was a track vehicle mechanic, so I drove a tank wrecker basically, and we would go around and if a tank broke down out in the field or whatever, we have to go out there and do whatever needs to be done to make it work again, or salvage it in some way. Mm-hmm. And so that's basically what I did. I run around Germany in my tank. Going to different places and having different alerts and things, and it was I was in during a peacetime era from 85 to 89. So, we still had the Cold War, so we still had alerts, and we were still concerned about Russia and that kind of thing. So we always had a lot of alerts, and we were running around trying to kind of place ourselves in the best positions to prevent any kind of attack.
Wow. I've been doing a few of these veteran shows now since I've been with the Ask the Messengers. And there's something that I didn't know, wartime versus peacetime.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Can you kind of okay, for us civilians, I got that part. Can you just shed a little light on what is the wartime? I mean, of course it makes sense, but for us civilians who don't understand the difference.
Okay. Well, that's a big question, and it really it kind of determines whether or not you're going to be getting certain services or not, depending upon your interaction. If you were in a combat zone, if you were fighting during a war, if you were fighting during Vietnam or Korea or World War II or coming up to Afghanistan, Iraq, any of those kinds of interactions, or Panama. Those typically, if you were engaged in any of those kind of things, like you were there, physically there, or around it, nearby, you were going to, and you were affected by it, then you were going to get some services from the VA after you got out of the military.
Okay.
And so you could get, when you got out, so if but the thing is, once you get out of the military, you have to know where to go and what you need to do in order to make that happen. Because they don't necessarily, the VA is not going to say, hey, you're getting out now, you need to go over here and do this, this, and this.
Okay.
They don't really tell you any of that. You just get out and you're out.
Mm.
And then so you kind of figure this stuff out on your own.
Mm.
And so that's been one of the biggest problems, is that, I'm still talking to Vietnam veterans who don't know that they were serving in Vietnam and got poisoned by gas and got, shot at and all kinds of other things. They don't even know that they could possibly, get some kind of.
So you mean that there's Vietnam War veterans right now who have no idea that services exist? Wow.
Yeah. Not long.
Wow.
Because a lot of them, they come back, and of course, with Vietnam specifically, they weren't that welcomed, and so they tended to distance themselves oftentimes from that service.
Okay.
So they wouldn't be seen, in that way, and they went to work. A lot of them went into the auto industry. They worked 30, 40 years, mm-hmm. And then they couldn't understand why, of course, they were maybe in a war zone beforehand. This is where I work with people. They're in a war zone. They can't understand why they're so upset all the time, where they're not able to do their work consistently. They're not able to have any kind of consistent relationships. They're in constant conflict with people. I can't understand why they're just not feeling well. And a lot of that's because they've been through a traumatic experience, and they didn't make that connection.
So what are some of the things you, as the Veterans Navigator for Wayne County for DWIHN, what are some of the things that you're doing to help get that information? What are some of the ways that you get that message out there? How do you navigate as the navigator?
Yeah. Well, I work with a lot. I'm not doing this alone. I got a lot of. I work with the VA. I'm connected in numerous ways with the VA hospital through their mental health advocacy council, through their stand down boards, and I can talk more about those different things. But the vet center advocacy board. I mean, there's a wide variety of different leadership boards that are improvement boards, for like housing, trying to help veterans get better housing. So I'm kind of plugged into all those different things through the VA, along with. And what my kind of unique position here is, I'm kind of a go-between between the VA, which is been kind of this island for many years, because to get services in that, you really had to fight for them sometimes. It wasn't easy to get them, and unfortunately the VA wasn't quick to give them out. It's kind of like getting Social Security disability. You got to prove what you did that happened, and it's like, why do veterans have to prove that they were out? We know where they were, so why but so that's one of the things that we try to do, is try to get awareness out there through either through the VA. We do a lot of resource kind of events. We do a lot of, but right now we're doing a number of different PAC acts kind of events where we go in and talk about what you can qualify for, and invite veterans out. We have food. We kind of entice, have some enticements to get people to come out, and we try to do it at different times because we know veterans are working. So we try to get some weekend ones going. We do some stuff during the day, at night, whatever we can do to just try to get the information out there. But it's really a very kind of slow plodding kind of getting the information out. I work through AARP. I work through all kinds of different agencies, through my own agency, to talk about what veterans need and what's going on with the veteran community in Wayne County and in the Tri-County area.
Stay tuned for more of Ask the Messengers.
Who does DWIHN help?
Adults, children, people that are homeless,
people that have substance abuse, people that need prevention services.
You can be living up under a bridge, you could be suffering coming from prison, or you could just be suffering at home, but you can always reach out to DWIHN.
And you are treated with dignity when you come to DWIHN.
DWIHN, we are one, a community of care.
Young people are struggling. They're turning to drugs and alcohol to find comfort, and the consequences can be devastating. The DWIHN Integrated Health Network wants to help. Let's talk about it and find help together. Moms, dads, aunts, uncles, friends, and loved ones. It's never been more important to talk to kids and get them the help they need before it's too late. Call the 24-hour helpline, 1-800-241-4949, or visit DWIHN.org. Here to talk, here to help.
For more than 40 years, God's World has been bringing faith and inspiration to your doorstep. Located at 13533 West 7 Mile Road at Schaefer, Larry Robinson has served anyone involved in gospel music and Christian events in Detroit. Stop in today for all your inspirational needs.
Welcome, Judge Mathis. Thanks for coming to share an important message with the Wayne County taxpayers.
Well, thank you for allowing me to help. You know, most of my life I was a resident of Wayne County, and so I'm here to help because Treasurer Shabri wants to work with Wayne County homeowners to keep families in their homes and prevent foreclosure.
If you're having trouble making your property tax payments, let us know. We have many resources to help.
Already in the payment plan? It's important you stay in good standing.
Making property tax payments is now easier than ever. We have placed payment kiosks in community centers across the county. We've also added kiosks in our offices. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
And remember, stay safe, save time, make your appointments and payments online.
So with the resources that you provide, what do you see the greatest need? Where do you see the trends? Where's the uptick on where's the greatest need?
Well, I would say consistently, and this is across the board, statewide, it's really, it's been, I mean, we've done a better job with mental health. We're getting better with that because we're dealing with a lot of the just stuff that, just simple life events that people just can't have, don't have the wherewithal, I guess. At some point, sometimes you just can't, you get overwhelmed and you just need somebody to kind of give you some help with, financials, education, work, housing. Housing is probably one of the biggest things. I guess that's probably, we talk about that more than anything else. And because it's so expensive now, it's hurting all of us. I mean, we all struggle with, rent and inflation. And so I would say right now, just helping veterans making sure that they have their basic needs met is really the biggest thing. Okay. And unfortunately, and a lot of times, like you said, they're stubborn. They're just like, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to, I'll work through it.
Right.
And usually, they'll take it right to the very end. Unfortunately, they take it right to the edge where, okay, you're calling me now, and I'm supposed to try to help you when, we got, you got 2 days before you're going to get evicted, or before something's going to happen.
Right.
For the police, so I work with the police. We work with, we have good CIT training through our program, through DWIHN. Okay. And so, we talk about how we engage people and how we interact with veterans and other people who are out on the street and who are, are experiencing mental health problems and are having a difficult time, just, with the, day-to-day interaction.
So a question that I do have for you, let's just say, for example, the veteran needs help, but stubborn and won't. How can the family member get involved and seek out the help when the veteran doesn't want to do it for themselves? Do you guys do something is there a way to make that happen?
Well, that's a good question. Because we do education, and I've done education, educating family members on like the symptoms. Like when you come home, if you've been in a traumatic kind of combat situation, you might come home and not realize, you're experiencing things that you're experiencing without knowing it. So,
right.
And the family members are just as oblivious. So you have to figure out how you're going to deal with this. And some of the best thing really is to kind of get everybody together and just talk about all the different symptoms that come up when you're dealing with post-traumatic stress, and share that information with them, and then they're like, oh yeah, they get this, they start to understand what's going on in that veteran's life. And then of course, but that's the tricky thing. It's like, well, now we got to confront them and see if they'll go out and do something about it. And that's been one of the most challenging things, is to get veterans to get engaged, to find the services, whether you're going through the VA or you're going through community mental health, or if you have other insurance that's allowing you to get mental health services, which is, most of our veterans, I would say, are Medicaid. I'm working, I'd say the majority of our veterans in Wayne County, you're looking at a huge population of veterans older than me, over 60. And they're a lot of them are alone. They don't have a lot of support. They've isolated themselves away from their family members, perhaps. So they've just kind of created a situation for themselves where they're on their own.
Wow.
And they're just trying to do it on their own. And a lot of them can't drive. There's different restrictions. There's health issues. There's substance abuse issues. So you just it just runs the gamut. And it's a wide percentage. I mean, there's a very high percentage of veterans who have a lot of these problems that compared to your general public.
Okay.
And,
so if you could go one veteran to another, if you could look into that camera and speak to your fellow veterans, give them some words of encouragement, and what would you just like for them to know from one to another?
Well, I'd say one thing I always try to talk to them about is the fact that, in the military, we are taught to be, to survive and take care of ourselves. That's part of it. But the biggest part of it is you really can't do any of that without support with people around you. You got your combat team, you got your platoon, you got your squad. You're out there, you're helping each other out. You're supporting each other. You can't get out of the military and think that you're just now all of a sudden going to do everything on your own, especially when things are, it's so drastic. That's another thing we do. We have a class on military cultural competency, where we talk to providers and different people who work with veterans to help them understand the drastic change that happens between, being a civilian to going into the military, whether you're peacetime or you've been involved and exposed to traumatic combat. You're just going to be, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your mentality. There's going to be some changes going to happen there, and how you react to it and how it affects you. You have to be aware of that, and take the necessary steps. And oftentimes they need some guidance in that area. And unfortunately, we have some that we don't get to soon enough.
Right.
And
how can someone, do they go to the DWIHN website to reach out to your, how do they get to your resources?
They can call me directly.
Give your phone number, Chris.
Here's let me get that. It's 313-585-0061.
Yes.
Y'all.
Take the number again, Chris.
313-585-0061.
Awesome. Look, he said call him directly.
Well, let me give you this one too.
Okay.
C. Brown at DWIHN.org.
Awesome.
All right. And that's that's another good way. A lot of providers will reach out to me via email, so we can kind of talk a little bit about it, see what's going on, make sure we're not we're following HIPAA and going through everything that we need to do to make sure that we're communicating appropriately, and then I can connect with that veteran.
Awesome.
And needs to be done.
Thank you, Chris. Listen, you guys call Chris, family members, reach out. As he said, educate yourself. We don't know what
I provide that freedom. I provide that too. I provide free. I'm grant based, so everything I do is free. I come out to your house. I'll drive out to you. I'll see you where you're at. I'll meet with you, see what's going on. I'll give free education to any group or and I'm doing that. I've been doing that with providers now, and help them know what they need to know so that they can help their veterans. I can help them. I'm not there to take their veterans out of the CMH. I'm there to help them help their veterans. So I'm not.
Awesome. All right, Chris, thank you so much. As he said, his phone number is there on the screen. Email address is there on the screen. If the veteran doesn't want to do it themselves, family members do it for them. At least take the first initial step so that you can educate yourself so that you know how to handle your loved one too. And that's just what it takes. Like he said, you had all the platoon, the squad, the everything. Now you come like people at. Well, Chris is your people.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. It was nice talking to you.
Yes, this is Tina Ask the Messengers. And when we come back, we'll have more veteran stories and more resources to just help you out. This is Tina Nelson for Ask the Messengers.
We'll be right back with more of Ask the Messengers.
Your opioid addiction won't just leave you lifeless. It will leave others without you in their life. Know the risk. Know the facts.
Our children and youth are vulnerable to stressors that can affect their mental health. At the DWIHN Integrated Health Network, we believe mental health care should put children first. We provide mental health services that are youth-focused and culturally sensitive. Our clinicians and professional staff offer suicide prevention trainings, in-school services, and resources for LGBTQ youth, so hope and help are there for those who need it. Call us anytime 24/7 at 800-241-4949. We are here to talk, here to help.
If you or someone you know is battling with any type of cancer, you need to read the book by Laverne Moore Slaughter, God Encounters Are Real. In her book, she tells how through prayer and faith, God healed her and set her free from stomach cancer. For more information and to get your copy, visit www.encountersarereal.net.
Thanks, Charles, for letting me use your gardening supplies. I'll make sure I put it back in the garage. Man, tending to that lawn is a lot of work.
Tell you the truth, Jim, I'm more concerned about keeping this house.
What's going on?
Well, Sarah lost her job 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Since we lost that income, the bills have been piling up, and we're so far behind. I don't want to lose the house because of back taxes. I don't know what to do.
I understand. The same thing happened to my sister and her husband when he lost his job. Do you know that the Wayne County Treasurer has plans and programs to help people stay in their homes?
No, I didn't. Tell me about it.
Yeah, go to www.treasurer.waynecounty.com to see if you qualify.
Say that again.
www.treasurer.waynecounty.com.
Got it.
So tell me about Access for All. What's involved? What do you do? Who are you looking for? How does it work?
So what we do with Access for All is a pre-apprenticeship program, and so what we ultimately do is provide opportunities for individuals to have exposure to the unionized trades. And so they come in for 9 weeks. They meet Tuesday through Friday virtually right at home, and then on Saturdays in person. The time that they come in, there is a supportive service component that helps support them while they're in the program. The credentials that they will get will actually ultimately give them an opportunity to pipeline into the industry. They're calling it the new 4-year degree. Yeah.
You know, apprenticeship programs, they used to be the thing back in the day. I'm so glad to see them, you know, coming back to the forefront. I'm glad you're doing that too.
Yes, yeah, and it's been a big push. And this program has not just been in Detroit, you know, it's now pipeline across the state of Michigan. We're in Benton Harbor, Kalamazoo, Jackson, Flint, and of course, you know, along with the construction trades, there's a big push for women in the trades. And so our program has, you know, produced some of the Apprentice of the Year, and so we're excited about the work that we're doing in the city.
Great. So do me a favor, look right in that camera and tell them how they can reach you.
So if you're interested in an opportunity to get into the unionized trades, you can reach me at the Michigan Works Highland Park. That's 144 East Manchester in Highland Park, Michigan. Or you can actually start the application process at michiganinstitute.wdi.org.
My name is Jack D. Anderson. I'm 101 years old. Well, I was in the 92nd, I saw all black, 92nd Division. My job was to knock out the German tanks.
If you could give some words of encouragement to the veterans that are coming up now, what would you say to them right now?
Well, right now I would tell them if you got some money invested in stock, you know what I mean, and still eat good food, sleep good, take exercise.
Thank you so much for your time. Okay, you heard what he said. He said, if you got a little bit of money, invest it. He said, eat good food.
Right.
And he said, stay happy.
That's right.
And
you might make see that 101. All right. 101.
Well, that concludes this week's episode of Ask the Messengers. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you would like to help support our show, please feel free to make a donation of any kind by visiting our show website, www.askthemessengers.org. If you prefer to mail donations, please make check or money order payable to Ask the Messengers TV show and send it to 18400 Schaefer Highway, Detroit, Michigan 48235. Ask the Messengers is the program that deals with things that help you. Thank you for watching.